The Mandalorian Chapter 19, The Convert, which is such a unique title, a very specific title, because now we're reverting back to the Mandalorian ways where the title often reflects two instances that happens, a double meaning, if you will. We have the conversion of an Imperial doctor who is trying to understand or transition into the ways of life of the New Republic after being a turncloak and changing the tides, changing sides after the war. And of course, Bo-Katan, changing her beliefs, changing her ways, and being accepted into this branch of military as the Watch. These are the Mandalorians that we see that are all about the way and originally came from Death Watch, which she kind of was originally a part of. There's so many things about this episode that I felt express parts of the Star Wars universe that we never really get to see. Only in video games and comics and books that are explained. And I feel like as if Andor has kind of nudged Mandalorian into this direction of let's start explaining things. Let's start getting deeper into this lore about why the First Order came to be. And you've been seeing the trend here. Why the New Republic struggles so much with its grip of power. And it's so insane to me because it's always Empire bad, Rebellion good. Very obviously good versus evil, light versus dark. The Empire was so powerful, and because of that, people were intimidated by it and did not want to step up against such a terrifying foe. But the New Republic, while it may be good, struggles financially, militaristically. And you wouldn't know about this because it's never really been explained inside anything live action until now. The junkyards of these Star Destroyers being just thrown away, discarded. And that's because the leader, Mon Mothma of the New Republic, has decided to demilitarize the New Republic's military to 1%. And that's really the reason why they were humiliated by the First Order come the sequel trilogy. But this episode starts out fast. We have the most beautiful chase scene that I've seen since Rogue One. I don't know why Star Wars doesn't really show a lot more of their dogfights. We see interceptors, TIE interceptors, my favorite. This is the first time we've seen them since literally Return of the Jedi. Oh man, and Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan gets her house demolished, destroyed, bombed again. I feel like this poor girl has been going through so much. I don't know why the Force hates her so much, but they just continuously keep throwing this poor girl down, making her suffer. Now she doesn't have a home again. Then you roll the intro and then we see Coruscant, baby. And I thought for a moment that it was actually Hosnian Prime, which we get to see in the sequel trilogy for a brief moment before it's destroyed. But it's actually Coruscant, fam, and it looks beautiful. There are so many things inside this scene. The giant rock, oh my god, from the High Republic. And it's so cool to see that because everyone always talks about how it's the city planet and the center of the galaxy and yada yada yada, but people don't know like this planet was like built on. Anyway, I'm getting Coruscant has always been such an important planet to the Star Wars universe because a lot of people think that the human race had started there. I mean, this was a planet that looked like Earth, and they just kept building surfaces and structures and layers upon layers until finally it is the planet that you see today. And I love that that giant rock was there because that is one of the only like organic minerals that you've seen from that planet since its origin. It's insane. We're talking about like 7,000, 8,000 years of lore here, okay? That's a big thing for me. This episode really shows the struggle of just beings living and suffering from war, giant wars, from people like Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader and the Emperor that have ruined so many people's lives and they do not know how to adjust to a natural way of living. And someone like Dr. Pershing, an intelligent scientist, wanted to work on cloning. This stems all the way back, no pun intended, to the Kaminoans and the Clone Wars and their cloning. This is huge stuff here that we've seen and so many times recycled in the Star Wars universe with the Dark Empire series and so much more. Cloning is quintessential, in my opinion, to Star Wars and all the lore because everybody has a clone. Everybody keeps coming back in some way, shape, or form. I mean, Luke Skywalker was even cloned in the old expanded universe. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but it does seem like they're leaning very heavily on this. And we're about to find out whether or not a certain Dark Jedi is going to appear later this season. Kane is a perfect example of someone that was indoctrinated brainwashed, and programmed. And no amount of deproming, I guess you could say, is going to help this person. This person is always going to be a part of the Empire, probably still talking to agents of the Empire in some way, shape, or form. They're always going to be fascist and imperialistic, and it's sad to see. And I hope this person doesn't continuously trap other former Imperial fighters and scientists that are trying to make a good life, because that was very, very hard to watch. But Bo-Katan, fam, oh my god, this character just continues. Her stock is just rising for me, man. I feel like I'm about to go out and buy her Funko Pop today. Bo-Katan has seen so much suffering. She's seen her inspired leader, Vizsla, die by the hands of Darth Maul. She's seen the Darksaber shift over to Darth Maul, structure of Mandalore, her home, be thwarted and destroyed and honestly made fun of because of someone like Darth Maul. She's seen her sister die right in front of her, and then she's had to team up with Ahsoka Tano, who's a Jedi, which is like a 5,000, 6,000 year old enemy from her ancestors, just to reclaim her home in the Siege of Mandalore in season 7 of the Clone Wars. And then finally, Sabine Wren, okay? Sabine Wren gives her the Darksaber and tells her, you are the one to lead this. You are the one to bring us back. You are the leader. They entrusted her with so much faith and power with the Darksaber, and then she loses it. She loses it to Moff Gideon, and you only see the Darksaber later when Din Djarin, a scrubbed-up Mandalorian, nobody knows, with a baby that's little tiny and green and does the magic hand thing. So much effort from Bo-Katan just trying to redeem herself because now he has the Darksaber. Surely she is questioning her beliefs. She's had to swallow so much hubris because she had to save Din Djarin, who was the person that stole her Darksaber and is kind of in this path to ultimately leading Mandalore and becoming Mandalore the Great. And then she walks over to these people that she's literally talked shit about for the last decade or so, and then she joins their cult because now she also bathed in those minds and she is also a part of the way and doesn't take her helmet off in that very brief time of this episode. Everybody that she loved died. Everybody that she wanted to lead left her. And she has been broken and sad and depressed. And now these people that she saw as an enemy, and ultimately one of the reasons why Mandalore was destroyed, they're the only people now that are supporting her and bring her in as family and accept who she is. You see them hugging her. You see them patting her back. Paz Vizsla is such an ass. Oh my god, bro, get over it. You lost Din Djarin. You got the O2 quick handshake, fam, and Bo-Katan is here too. I'm sorry, bro, you're not the one. But everyone else has been really respectful to Bo-Katan, and I'm just really happy for her because I can't imagine all the stuff that she's going through. The character doesn't even exist, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's how I feel about today's episode. Honestly, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. I wanted to see a lot more Mandalorian politics and see what's going to go on here with Bo-Katan and Din Djarin and the Heiress. And I swear to God, if the Heiress is root cast, I'm going to be so freaking mad. That's something for me and the hardcore fans, okay? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, I did love this world building, though. I think anyone that's calling this episode filler, I'm not sure if they're using that label correctly. This was very Andor-inspired writing. I'm glad you got to see the New Republic and all of its flaws because it has a lot of flaws. I mean, even the way that they snuck onto the train, it just goes to show you just how poorly run the New Republic is compared to the Empire. The Empire would never let that slide ever in a lifetime. And this is just a number of problems that the New Republic has, man. And that's why they are just a joke of an organization and a government. Anyway, I hope you love this review. Thank you so much. I hope you come back next week, fam, so I can talk about so much stuff. Anyway, I got nothing else to say, so I'll see you later. Ooh.